The morning sun barely crested the pines when Linda Carver's voice pierced the quiet of my property at 7 a.m. "Open that gate right now, or I'm calling the cops," she shouted through the chain link, her face as flushed as her cherry-red BMW. Behind her, a parade of neighbors in luxury SUVs honked, late for their commutes because I'd locked the gate on my land. I leaned against my porch railing, coffee in hand, and smirked. "Go ahead, Linda. Ask the cops about trespassing laws." For 3 years, she'd treated my inherited 2 acres like her personal freeway. But today, I had a surprise that would turn her world upside down. See, while Linda was busy filing complaints and slashing my tires, I bought the road her entire neighborhood depends on, and I locked it for good. My name's Tom Hargrove, a 52-year-old diesel mechanic who thought inheriting my grandma's 1960s ranch house would be my ticket to peace. Nestled among towering pines in Maplewood Heights, the place smells of lavender and motor oil, a perfect escape from a messy divorce and a life spent fixing other people's problems. But peace? That ended the day I met Linda Carver, the HOA queen who runs Maplewood's 47 McMansions like her personal fiefdom. Her $900,000 colonial and her insurance exec husband, Greg, give her the clout to terrorize anyone who dares park their trash cans a minute late. Back in 1985, a shady developer cut corners, convincing my grandma to let the neighborhood's access road cross 37 feet of her land. No paperwork, just a handshake. Grandma put up a gate in 2019 after vandals trashed her shed, sharing the code with emergency services. It wasn't about blocking good folks, it was about keeping trouble out. Trouble, though, had Linda's name on it. Week 3 of my new life, she marched up my porch in designer heels, demanding I keep the gate unlocked 24/7 for resident convenience. I offered the emergency code, explained it was private property. Her smile turned venomous. "Listen, Wrench Turner," she spat, eyeing my grease-stained overalls. "I don't negotiate with people who belong in a junkyard. Unlock it, or I'll bury you in legal fees." That night, I dug through Grandma's papers and found gold. A 1960 survey showing the road crossed my land, no easement recorded. My lawyer, Karen Wells, laughed. "Tom, they've been trespassing for 40 years. You could lock that gate tomorrow, and they'd have no legal ground to stand on." Linda didn't stop. Day 4, a county complained about my illegal work trucks parked in my own driveway. Day 6, a noise violation for starting my diesel engine at 6:30 a.m. Day 8, an EPA claimed that my compost pile was hazardous waste. Each complaint hit my trash can with a satisfying thud, but they cost time and county resources. Neighbors whispered about Linda's reign of terror, $300 fines for Christmas lights up past January 2nd, threats over non-regulation mailboxes. She'd turned Maplewood into a suburban dictatorship, synchronized leaf blowers and all. When Linda escalated to vandalism, bolt cutters on my lock at 3:00 a.m., I knew Grandma didn't raise me to back down. Certified mail arrived, 3 pages claiming my gate blocked public access to essential services, backed by 23 neighbor signatures. But I'd learned from my divorce, when someone threatens you over your own property, make them prove it. I called the county surveyor for a formal boundary check. Steve Larson spent 6 hours mapping every inch, beeping GPS equipment slicing through Linda's lies. Results? 37 feet of road on my land. No easement since 1960. The developer's 1985 permits showed they were supposed to build access on HOA land, but took the cheap route through Grandma's property. I posted the survey on the neighborhood's Facebook page. Facts matter. No easement, private property. Linda's response? A 30-minute meltdown post calling me a deranged loner, threatening the community. Never mind, I've never threatened any enemy sanities, just fine. Then came noise complaint number 2, claiming my trucks violated quiet enjoyment at 6:30 a.m. Funny, since Greg's Mercedes roars to life at 6:15 daily. County Inspector Pete Daniels, a 25-year veteran, reviewed the survey and Grandma's permits. "This gate's legal," he told Linda as she hovered. "Property owners control access, long as emergency services get through." Her reply? "What about our convenience?" Pete's deadpan was poetry. Convenience isn't in the Constitution. Property rights are. Cracks formed in Maplewood. Ellen Wong brought me cookies, admitting Linda called me a dangerous recluse. She'd been fined $300 for holiday lights. Mike Turner, a firefighter, confirmed emergency services had my gate code and no issues. The Facebook war exploded. Linda's rants versus neighbors' horror stories about her fines for bird feeders and half-inch parking violations. Then I learned about prescriptive easements. 20 years of land use could grant automatic rights. The road, built in 1985, was used 15 years before Grandma's death. Legally insufficient. Linda wanted a facts war. I had the facts. She just had volume. Week 6, Linda's lawyers sent a cream-colored, embossed threat demanding a permanent easement or $50,000 for interference. Karen called it a slap suit intimidation to make me fold. Her counter? A quiet title action to cement my rights. Then her paralegal, Amy, found a game changer. 1,985 permits showed the developer lied to the county, building on Grandma's land without permission of 40-year fraud. Linda's HOA was complicit in the trespass. Meanwhile, her emergency meeting to fund her legal war backfired. Ellen said. Janet Miller stood up. Why are we paying for Linda's vendetta? Mike pointed out emergency services approval. Half the room walked out as Linda screamed about traitors. I upped the ante, locking the gate during rush hour 7:00 to 9 a.m., for 00:00 to 6:00 p.m. with a sign, private property. Alternate access via Oak Street. Linda's 12-minute commute became 35 minutes of gridlock hell. 3 families offered access fees, $50, $75 monthly. Tempting, but my divorce taught me easy money creates legal traps. Charging fees could complicate my property rights. I declined, and word spread I wasn't extorting anyone, just standing up to Linda's tyranny. Janet Miller apologized. Linda said you were a crook, but Ellen explained the truth. We've been terrorized for years. Then Amy dropped a bombshell. Willowbrook's access road violated county codes for 40 years. Unpermitted septic systems, wetland runoff, outdated electrical grids. One call to the county could force millions in repairs. Linda's gate obsession was a distraction from bigger problems. Week 8. Officer Pete arrived about Linda's claim I'd threatened her with deadly weapons. My security footage showed me sipping coffee 30 feet away while she screamed. Pete sighed. This is her 3rd false report this month. It's a felony. That night, cameras caught a limping figure suspiciously like Greg cutting my lock. I upgraded to a $400 electronic lock with phone alerts. The HOA meeting turned into chaos. Ellen live-streamed as Mike demanded an end to Linda's vendetta funding. Linda screamed about bribed traitors. 7 households refused her legal assessment, crippling the HOA's budget. Janet proposed negotiating with me directly. 28 votes for, 12 against. My cousin, Dave, in municipal records, uncovered a 3-inch file on Willowbrook's violations: unpermitted septic systems, wetland encroachment, non-existent stormwater management. The development was a regulatory house of cards. Then I found Lot 47A, a 1.2-acre strip with the main road, up for tax auction in 45 days. $12 for 100 in unpaid taxes. For $15,000 to $20,000, I could own Maplewood's lifeline. Karen grinned. That's checkmate. Linda's final card was a protest at my gate. 15 outsiders with signs like "Stop the Land Grab." But counter-protesters, led by Mike's firehouse crew, waved "Property rights matter." Reporter Sarah Jenkins caught Linda's dictator-like quotes for the front page. By Sunday, her protest collapsed. Half her supporters switched sides. The real blow came when Amy uncovered Green Valley Landscaping's $47,000 lien against the HOA. Linda authorized storm cleanup in 2022 but never paid, hiding the debt while funneling HOA funds to her legal war and personal expenses. $75,000 in irregularities, including fake conference hotel stays. This wasn't about my gate. It was about covering her embezzlement. If the lien foreclosed, Maplewood's common areas playground trails could be sold to developers, tanking property values. Ellen organized a resistance with Mike and Janet. My kitchen became a war room. Janet's audit revealed $87,000 in fraud-forged signatures, fake invoices. Mike ensured emergency access compliance. Green Valley's owner, Carlos Mendez, just wanted fair payment for honest work. Then I spotted the auction notice. At $30,000, I outbid Linda on the courthouse steps. Her collapse was front-page news. That night, Janet presented the embezzlement evidence at the HOA meeting. Mike detailed Linda's harassment. Ellen moved to oust her unanimous, but for Linda and Greg. I offered $50 monthly per household for road maintenance, professionally managed, with emergency access guaranteed. The standing ovation lasted 3 minutes. 6 months later, Maplewood thrives. Ellen's HOA presidency brought transparency, monthly reports, recorded meetings, $500 expenditure approvals. Linda and Greg pleaded guilty to embezzlement, false reports, and attempted burglary. She got 18 months, he got probation. Property values rose. Surplus road funds started the Hargrove Scholarship for trade school kids, with Carlos's daughter, Sophia, as the first recipient. I joined the County Planning Commission, ensuring new developments avoid shortcut disasters. My consulting and security camera businesses grew, and Carlos and I partnered on construction projects. Every morning, I sip coffee on Grandma's porch, watching neighbors wave as kids head to school on repaired sidewalks. The annual festival on my land celebrates cooperation, not conflict. Maplewood's a community again, proof that ordinary folks can beat bullies with facts and grit. What would you do if a neighbor tried to bully you out of your rights? Have you faced HOA nightmares or seen injustice up close? Share your stories in the comments. Let's talk about standing up to bullies and fighting for what's right. Your voice matters.